Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel Mystic Mim Tarot. Today I'm doing a reading for you, Divine Feminine, from here in Australia. We will get a lot of different messages that Spirit would like you to know now. Then we will conclude with 2 lots of songs. Now let's begin. What would Spirit like to tell you today, Divine Feminine? Your ex has a revolving door of men and women who are coming and going to fulfill his sex addiction, to use them for money, and to boost his ego. Plus he has a baby and a wife too. He chose the swinger poly lifestyle over a true love connection with you. This man brought way too much baggage into his relationship with you and drama. There was a love triangle, male sex buddies, side chicks, an attempt to steal your inheritance, addictions to cigarettes, alcohol, weed, and heavier drugs in some cases by him, witchcraft. The Karmic does her own magic, but she has also paid a practitioner to separate you both. There were multiple baby mamas, energy harvesting of your energy, gang stalking, defamation of your character, STDs that both him and her had, criminal activity by these two, such as fraud, a secret baby that he had with her and never told you about, a crazy doppelganger, stolen money, ghosting, a betrayal where he picked her over you, major heartbreak on your part, a lot of secrets, a sex addiction of his that he probably didn't tell you about, his bisexuality. Honestly, truth really is stranger than fiction, Divine Feminine. You will certainly never ever forget this experience, that's for sure. It could be made into a soap opera. It came with twists and turns, sadness, anger, happiness, and defeat. It was filled with highs and lows. But one thing is for sure, Divine Feminine, and that is that you are relieved to be off that roller coaster ride. You feel free now and back to yourself again. You have found peace, harmony, tranquility, order, optimism, and your independence once again. He tried to minimize a Divine Feminine's role in his life to then prioritize a Karmic woman and his other female and male sex partners. This entire situation was ridiculous, and it is a wonderful thing that it has ended now for you, Divine Feminine. The Karmic was willing to participate in dirty, degrading, humiliating sex acts that you would never be a part of. How can you be that obsessed with sex that you end up rejecting a chosen one? God blesses you with a divine woman and you treat her like she is one of your karmic options. He had so much going on that he overlooked you. He didn't appreciate you, nor did he see your worth. For some of you DFs, after disrespecting and ghosting you, he has attempted to come back into your life again, like the ghosting never even happened, giving you no explanation whatsoever. Him and the Karmic go to sex parties. He leeches off his options because he is an opportunist. These are examples of things that he gets from them: a hot meal, borrowing their car, using their credit card, a bed to sleep in for the night, hotels paid for, presents, mobile phones, clothes, bills paid, and money. He is a player through and through, and he will never change. He hates living in a pigsty over there with her, after having seen how organized you are and how clean you keep your house. He was thinking with his penis and not his heart when he sacrificed you for this Jezebel. This could be your fallen ex-twin flame who failed the assignment. He fell into temptation with this succubus woman, so he fell from grace. Then he was banished out of your life by me. He doesn't use sexual protection, therefore he puts other people's lives at risk, and he doesn't even care. This sex addiction really has taken over his life completely. This guy wouldn't know the first thing about loyalty. The truth is that he wasn't loyal to you, this karmic, or his many male and female sex buddies. Everyone in his life only gets bits and pieces of him. He spreads himself way too thin, and he is a classic breadcrumber. He broke your heart so badly that the only way that you could deal with it and heal it was to get the hell away from him, and that's exactly what you did. His fake charismatic exterior was his cover, but really underneath it all, he was a conniving, sneaky, manipulative trickster. He loves bad girls and bad boys. He uses his options for either money or any resources he can get from them. You were seeking out a long-term partner that you could create a legacy with. He was seeking out his next sexual conquest. Once you were given the heads up about this guy being a player, you put your boundaries up. You disappeared so that you could protect yourself and your heart from being mishandled any longer. He chose to shack up with this karmic because she got pregnant. Whether or not that child is his or not is a whole different story. She trapped him either way, not just with this baby, but also with the intense spell work that she did on him. Your ex is an immature, attention-seeking man-child who is a water sign. He played never-ending games and was always gaslighting you. The funny part is that he thought he knew you inside out. But then when he chose her, you changed up on him. He didn't think you had it in you to walk away from him for good. He presumed that you were too in love with him and was too soft to ever block him. He will never find another you, Divine Feminine, and he knows this now. This guy looks as though he has aged 15 years since you separated from him. Your genuine love and care kept him looking tip-top. But since he chose this Jezebel and this fast life, his appearance has declined considerably. He doesn't practice any type of self-care at all now. He thought that you were a goody two-shoes, but that's only because he was comparing you to this promiscuous other woman. As funny as this sounds, Divine Feminine, your pets have really helped you through the heartbreak that this man caused you. You probably wonder why he chose the karmic over you, DF. Here are some of the reasons why. She had him under heavy black magic. She engaged in risky sexual behavior with him and fed his carnal desires. She was reckless and broke the law, had a criminal record, and she seemed exciting at the time. They enjoyed taking drugs and drinking together. And she wasn't smart like you, so he could manipulate her and lie to her constantly. He wanted you to view him as a decent, genuine man. However, in reality, he was selfish, stubborn, arrogant, self-centered, a trickster, a clown, a cheater, a liar, and a manipulator. He is not good at love. He is better at loveless hookups, friends with benefits, and one-night stands. He's too lazy to put the necessary work into a proper relationship. It was a runner-chaser dynamic and an empath-narcissist paradigm between you two. Your ex loves to triangulate people and juggle different men and women simultaneously. You are the empress who is also marriage material. He went on to commit to a woman who is out there in the streets. It is unbelievable, really. He targets women who he feels are vulnerable and are craving attention and love. He especially goes for women who have just divorced, just lost a loved one, or who are single mothers and are lonely. You felt like you tried to save this man from his demons and even himself, but he then went on to pick a woman who had even more demons than him. He was such a liar when he pretended that he was monogamous. The truth was that he was poly with this karmic. They deal with loads of different sex partners. For some of you, he left the family home and then moved in with her straight away. You love being celibate now, Divine Feminine. He made you feel second best when he chose her over you. It sent some of you into a deep, dark depression. Some of you DFs were disgusted when you caught him red-handed cheating on you. He could have given you an STD that he got from her, and that was how you discovered that he was cheating. He entertains both men and women. It was difficult and confusing for some of you because he acted all nice to your face, but was a Judas behind your back. Your ancestors saw everything, and they gave you signs about what he was doing and saying so that you would leave the connection. You got sick of waiting on that shelf that he placed you on. Who did he think he was? Out there entertaining options, whilst you patiently waited for a love offer from him that you never even got. If this ex wasn't looking for something serious in the past, then he should have just told you this from the very beginning. But instead, he gave you false hope, future fate, played with your heart and your head, and had you waiting for years for him to pick you. He was selfish, cruel, insatiable, an egomaniac, and an arrogant so-and-so. He thinks that he is such a great lover. I don't know if you would agree with this though, Divine Feminine. The alcohol is the liquid courage that he uses to participate in this poly lifestyle. He was caught up in a fantasy with this karmic. Everything seemed so crazy when they got together. The sex was over the top in the beginning because she was into anything and everything. But now he is repulsed by her. The fantasy was nothing like the reality for him. You will never forget when you found out the truth about this karmic. He had you doubting your own mind, saying that he hadn't met someone else. It was a deep betrayal when he convinced you that you were overreacting, only for you to realize that you were right about her all along. This kind of pain changed you. It taught you to trust your intuition more than anyone's words ever again. You hate the way this karmic has it in for you, DF. This has been your worst nightmare. The easy part was losing him to her. You grieved and healed and recovered from that. The hardest part has been the aftermath. The way she sends spell work your way continuously after having gotten him. It is sick and twisted, and you hate the way that you even got caught up with these individuals. You want the two of them out of your energy once and for all. Karma says, Sooner or later, everyone gets their due. You can't trick or hurt people forever and get away with it. What goes around comes around, and the universe will return your actions somehow. This is exactly what your ex is experiencing now. This ex was an emotional abuser. He humiliated you. He called you too sensitive when you responded to his abusive comments. He belittled you and laughed at your hopes, your dreams, and your accomplishments. He blamed you for his problems. He gaslit you to doubt your sanity. He became emotionally distant, and he had extramarital affairs. You may wonder what happens to a narc like your ex in the long run. Well, their actions catch up with them. Every lie they told, every person they used, every boundary they crossed, every heart they shattered. It may not happen right away, but life eventually holds them accountable. The people they hurt finally walk away. The admiration they once demanded turns into them being avoided. The mask they wore cracks, and the truth they spent years hiding becomes impossible to escape. You are so scared to ever have your heart broken again. He turned out to be jealous, possessive, controlling, mean, and even abusive for some of you DFs. Had you known about his true character from day one, you wouldn't have given him the time of day. Between the options and the new wife, he still isn't satisfied emotionally. You two had the emotional connection, but it is his karma to never have that again with anyone else. You have heard that he has become infatuated and obsessed with you now. However, you don't care less, as he didn't want you in the past, so it doesn't make sense to you. For a lot of you DFs, you have a higher earning capacity now, a part of your dharma, than you did when you were with him, and that pisses him off, because he counted you out and never thought you would amount to much. Oh well, his loss. This karmic is here for a good time, not a long time. He tried to build a foundation with someone like that. It was so foolish of him. You turned to tarot to find answers because this guy certainly wasn't giving them to you. He kept you in the dark about too many things. Unfortunately, some of you DFs had a nervous breakdown after he betrayed you. It was all too much for you to cope with. These two ganged up on you, and you felt bullied, ostracized, and targeted spiritually too. Him and the karmic could have hacked into your bank accounts or your phone. You weren't impressed when you discovered that you had been made into an option without your consent. You feel like you fell in love with the man he pretended to be. In other words, a fake persona. The karmic asked her witchy friends to help her place spell work on both you and him, first to break you two up, and then to keep you two apart. A diamond in the wrong hands is just a stone. Your ex failed to realize that you were the diamond and the karmic was the rock. This man has several tattoos. He was making a fool out of you, Divine Feminine. He is a middle-aged man with the mentality of a 13-year-old. He had a superiority complex where he expected people to beg for his attention and chase him. Having people argue over him made him feel superior. He chose a woman who ended up being the mirror of himself. This karmic keeps him on his toes and treats him horribly. For some of you, this man came back around your way recently. However, he was only interested in sex. Out of nowhere, he began to become both distant and secretive. You knew something was up because of your strong intuition. You came to the realization that you cannot change anybody but yourself. For a minority of you DFs, this man hasn't confessed to being with this karmic woman to this day. He flat out denies being with anyone. You are much better off monetarily now than you were when you were with him. He thought you weren't good enough at the time. This is how he looked down on his blessing from God above. So his karma for doing this was to get caught up in a toxic karmic cycle with a succubus. He feels so trapped now and is extremely unhappy. And you are growing, healing, and ascending by the day. You are extremely artistic and creative, Divine Feminine. He love bombs people to win over their trust, then cons them into giving him money. He claims that he will pay it back, but never does. He has squandered people's entire life savings before. He was an argumentative person, and he always had to be right. He left some of you DFs on your own to raise his baby. After he met this karmic woman who he cheated on you with, the change in his personality and his attitude towards you shocked you. You originally thought that he had a good sense of humor and that he was very friendly. For those of you who had a family with him, he didn't just leave you. He abandoned the whole family. He didn't just leave financial and physical damage behind. He left psychological scarring too. You felt that the disrespect he showed you in the end was so loud that your memories with him lost value. He fritters his money away on things like cigarettes, alcohol, and gambling. For the longest time, he thought that you were so gullible. But boy, oh boy, did that change when you started confronting him with the secrets of his that you already knew about. He was wondering how the hell you found out. For example, you discovering that he had the sex addiction. You didn't get closure directly from this man. However, the lack of an apology, the lack of care, the lack of accountability, and the lack of respect was the closure. A lot of you are so healed now that you don't even feel jealous at the thought of him with other men or women. It's almost as though this karmic stepped into your life, the life that you had with him, and took your place. He is now at the stage where he is sick of her mentioning your name and trying to put you down. It only makes him miss you more and question why he did what he did to you. So he has started to stick up for you. Next time around, you just want a man who never changes, from the first time you meet him till all the way through, unlike this ex. He kept on hurting you. You can't hurt someone constantly and then expect their energy to be the same. Even people with a good heart like you have their limits. He always played the victim, blamed everybody else, and he used excuses for everything. I know that it feels like he was laughing at your pain in the past when he had this novelty Jezebel, but now the energies have switched. You are in a great positive space and he is completely miserable. Some of you DFs are laughing at him now. Those tables always manage to turn. He cannot accept the rejection from you now. Some of your family and friends noticed a change in you after he was in your life. They observed a shift in your personality as he revealed his abusive side. You began to feel that you were walking on eggshells and like you couldn't do anything right in his eyes. He told you that you were the only woman in the world who he had truly loved. He also said that he would never ever leave you. This man had a complicated past, and he kept a lot of that to himself because he wanted you to look at him in a certain way. He told you the parts he wanted you to know and left out the rest. So you only got half of the story, DF. You have the ability to naturally lift the spirits of those around you. That's why people gravitate towards you when they are experiencing difficulties in their life. He got jealous and possessive of any man around you, for example, work colleagues, male friends, etc. He strung you along and had you believing that he wanted the same things that you did. She put black magic on him so that he would marry her. How sad is that? He didn't see your pain. In fact, he made it worse. He didn't protect you. He became another reason you had to protect yourself. He let you suffer in silence, and yet he still hoped that you would return to him. Once you cut the cords and chose to be loyal to yourself rather than him, a flood of blessings poured into your life. He thought you would be weak without him, but you're stronger. He thought you would be broke without him, but you're richer. This karmic could never ever do what you did for him. All of the sacrifices you made and the pure love you offered him. He lost someone who did everything for him. You lost someone who didn't appreciate you or see your worth. He wanted you to need him always, but you don't, and that kills him. Your justice now is your happiness, your financial freedom, your security, your stability, your peace, your confidence, and your belief in yourself, that you can do anything that you set your mind to. He betrayed your confidence by telling this karmic about some of your secrets that you had never told anyone but him. This man will do anything to make a quick buck. You are enjoying your freedom, living comfortably, and appreciating the life that you have built for yourself. He was witty, funny, and adventurous at first, so you two had a lot of fun together. You are now finally at peace with this situation. He loves to escape reality because he cannot deal with the bad choices he has made. You never once judged this man. However, it felt as though he constantly judged you. Some of you helped him when he had absolutely nothing. You helped him get a job, buy a car, you bought him a phone, clothes, etc. He's the one who betrayed you. However, he tried to turn it all around and blame you for being the problem. He wanted to drag you down into his karmic life, whilst you wanted to help him become high vibrational like you. The healer in you thought that you could eventually fix him, but he was too far gone and you were both on different pages. He betrayed your trust. He cheated but then never wanted you to bring it up. He always tried to manipulate the narrative and shift the focus away from his infidelity. Now that you have made yourself unavailable to him, he thinks of you a lot. He would have continued to waste your time and destroy your life had you stayed around any longer. He is a rule breaker and he doesn't have much respect for authority. She has always looked at him as her meal ticket. She has depleted him financially, so now they are constantly fighting over money. She was stroking his ego and putting him on a pedestal in the beginning so that he would leave you. She had a big mask on though. After they married or moved in together, she switched up on him completely. Some of these masculines were using your money to fund holidays, jewelry, clothes, etc. for the karmic. He was incapable of giving to you what you freely gave to him, DF. This man goes through his life winning over people's hearts and then going on to break them. It is so sick. You realize that staying with this man became more painful than separating from him because he kept breaking your heart over and over. You feel that he is getting too old to be living in such a toxic manner. To each his own, I guess. His life is off the rails now because he made it that way. He is all over the place because he has way too many people in his energy. The things that he used to complain about and criticize you for are the very things that he misses about you now. He is such a contrary man. Some of you still have feelings for him and miss him very much, but you cannot accept his lifestyle choices. You don't want a man who sleeps around, who also has a crazy karmic wife watching him 24/7. Married men are a no-go for you, Divine Feminine. This karmic was talking behind your back for 3 reasons. She tried to intimidate you but failed. She could not match your level. And 3, she envied you and what you have. The fact that you are excelling in life without him is annoying him. He was scattered, deceitful, self-centered, insensitive, inconsiderate, vain, and entitled. One day he wanted you, the next day he didn't. You were extremely emotional with him in the past. You were a Queen of Cups, but you are logical now because you were forced to stand up for yourself. Now you are a Queen of Swords when it comes to him. His words didn't match his actions and behaviors. He wouldn't treat you right or put you first, but then he claimed he loved you so much, you were so special, and that he had never met such a good woman like you before. At the start he was passionate and his charm impressed you. You were completely swept off your feet because he promised you the world. When you healed, you finally realized that this man had nothing to offer you from day one. Only illusions, empty promises, and the version of himself he pretended to be. DF, some of you are single now because people aren't even dating anymore. They're just talking, catching feelings, sleeping together, and ending up in situationships. This modern dating is not for you. You are into old-fashioned love. He was hurt really badly in the past by an ex of his. So ever since then, he takes his unresolved pain out on others. He sabotages anything good that comes to him because he never did the shadow work to heal his heart. You threw yourself into work, study, getting your money right, and loving on yourself when it ended in order to get your mind off him. He couldn't find peace within himself, so he tried to destroy your peace when all you were doing was trying to love him. A man at war with himself will always bring war into his home. He love-bombed the hell out of you, which made you feel great at the time. You were pretty much unawakened when you two met. A lot of you had your spiritual awakening after he rejected you for her. He goes around creating drama, issues, and problems for people, and then ends up blaming them. Without your protection and your energy, his life has gone downhill. Well, he should have known better than to treat an earth angel like she never meant anything to him. You put so much effort into trying to save the relationship, giving him chance after chance to change. Divine Feminine, if you don't let your past die, then it won't let you live. When you needed comfort, he confused you. When you needed closeness, he pulled away. And when you needed to feel safe, he made you feel disposable. He didn't even realize how much you really loved him until the Karmic revealed her true colors to him. He yearns for unconditional love now, however you took it with you when you left. If you have been posting inspirational quotes about your life online, this ex thinks that they are all about him and that you are posting them to show off. You're not though. You are just grateful for your Dharma and you have a new appreciation for life. He cheated on you with her, but is now trying to cheat on her and get back into your good graces. This is for those of you who have received recent texts or phone calls from him. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You are now attaching yourself to goals, a calling, a mission, and your purpose, rather than a person, projects, a company, or an organization. You really wanted to be a princess, but life made you a warrior, Divine Feminine. He feels like he is going crazy. It's the black magic that she continues to place on him. It's a vicious cycle because he smokes more weed and drinks more to cope with it. She has him right where she wants him, in a terrible state, so that he could never come back to you again. You have rewired your brain after ending the hurt and pain from him. Do you know how hard that is to do? Now you know blessings exist, good people exist, and a softer, easier life exists. He is so sexual that he fantasizes over having sex with you still, Divine Feminine. He thought that he could leave the door open with you forever and go in and out of your life whenever he felt like it. He put some of you Divine Feminines in the friend zone. You are always lifting him up, whereas she is always tearing him down. This guy wasn't supportive when you could have had a death in your family, serious health issues, an accident, a crisis, a tragedy, major stress, or a loss. He was cruel, and that showed you his true colors. Some of you are high priestesses, and you tell people around you things that will happen, and then they do. They are spooked by your intuition, and he was too. In some cases, both him and her were stealing your energy to manifest things for themselves. When he brought her into his life, he also brought spiritual warfare into your life. You are protected now, though, because you cut the cords with him, then leveled up to a new timeline and a higher vibration. You just cannot get over how evil some people can be. This Karmic doesn't have a loving bone in her body. She's out for herself. Imagine going from someone who adored you to someone who doesn't give a crap about you. Oh well, this is exactly what he did. Even though he did you so wrong, DF, he definitely misses you very much. You don't know what you have until it's gone. You are looking for a man who is proud to have you, scared to lose you, who fights for you, appreciates you, cares for you, and loves you unconditionally. He got off on your high vibrational energy because he has never met anyone like you before. He feels lonely even though he has all of these people around him. You probably wonder how he would even have time to think of you, but he does, because he cannot forget the love you showed him, how you always had his back, and how you were his rock. These hookups or options mean nothing to him at the end of the day. They are only notches on his belt. He actually leads a very lonely, sad existence. At present, he has an underlying mental health condition. DF, your soul is on a budget. Now you cannot afford any deceit, disrespect, negativity, drama, stress, doubt, hate, or bad vibes. He masturbates over the photos you have sent him, and also the sexual memories that you and him made together. This karmic wife has even caught him doing it. That's why she views you as such a threat to her marriage. She just feels like a rebound now. For some of you divine feminines, this man wants you back again. But just know that if he was to win you over again, he still wouldn't sacrifice his options. You would also have to accept that he is a married man, so you would never be number one. I seriously doubt that you would ever settle for this situation. You have learned 3 things from your ex, Divine Feminine. 1. You won't always get the closure or the explanation you deserve. 2. Sometimes you simply have to accept something for what it is and move on. And 3. Everything happens for a reason. Through this experience, you found your self-worth, you put an end to people-pleasing, and you started being loyal to your own needs, your wants, your values, and your intuition. When you start taking care of yourself, you start feeling better, you start looking better, and you attract better. It all starts with you, because the most important relationship in your life, Divine Feminine, is with yourself. Now we will get several songs. The first lot of songs reflect how this masculine feels about you now, DF, as well as how he feels about his own behavior and his character after betraying and lying to you like he did. The first one is Always on My Mind, Pet Shop Boys. House of Jealous Lovers by The Rapture. Be Alright by Dean Lewis. Learn to Fly by the Foo Fighters. Something About Us by Daft Punk. Back for Good by Take That. Wonderwall by Oasis. Key Largo, Bertie Higgins. What Have I Done to Deserve This by Pet Shop Boys. Free Falling by Tom Petty. Stars by Simply Red. Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars. Lessons in Love by Level 42. Here Comes the Rain Again by Annie Lennox. Soap Opera by Brandy Clark. You Really Got Me Going by The Kinks. Walk on the Wild Side by Lou Reed. I Miss You by Ed Sheeran. I Want Your Sex by George Michael. I Wanna Sex You Up by Colour Me Bad. Just a Gigolo by David Lee Roth. Bed I Made by Alan Stone. Trail of Broken Hearts by James Blunt. Instant Karma by John Lennon. And the last one is I Lost a Good Woman by Jimmy Rogers. The second lot of songs reflect how you feel about him now. Also, these songs reflect how you have been feeling about yourself now that you have left this deceitful man in the past, Divine Feminine. The first one is Shine by Vanessa Amorosi. This Is Who I Am by Vanessa Amorosi. You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine by Lou Rawls. You Will Never Find Another Me by Busta Rhymes. My Life by Billy Joel. Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. In the End by Linkin Park. Superstition by Stevie Wonder. Already Gone by the Eagles. The Celibate Life by the Shins. Angels Like You by Miley Cyrus. Single Ladies by Beyonce. Set Fire to the Rain by Adele. Daisies by Katy Perry. Stop Dragging My Heart Around by Stevie Nicks. Sharpest Tool by Sabrina Carpenter. Love Don't Live Here Anymore by Madonna. Born to Be Alive by Patrick Hernandez. And the last one is You Won't Break My Soul by Beyonce. I appreciate you watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, Divine Feminine. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.